When people think of the sound of music, they picture rolling green hills, joyful songs, and a love story that warms the heart. But behind the iconic smiles and melodies lies a chaotic, often painful reality that Hollywood worked hard to bury. The film may have earned over $286 million and stolen 5 Oscars. But few know about the disaster-prone set, emotional tension, and secrets kept under lock and key for decades. One of the film's most romantic scenes, the gazebo kiss, nearly collapsed under laughter. Why? The carbon arc lights meant to create moonlight made flatulent noises so loud and absurd that Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer couldn't stop laughing. 20 failed takes. Eventually, they filmed it in silhouette to hide their giggles and save the scene. But the chaos didn't end there. Plummer, who nicknamed the film The Sound of Mucus, despised the sentimentality. He drank heavily, even filming the emotional Edelweiss scene while completely drunk. Still, audiences saw sincerity where there was just exhaustion. Julie Andrews was paid $225,000 flat, no royalties, while the film made millions. Meanwhile, 5-year-old Kim Carruth almost drowned during the rowboat scene. Julie was told just before the shoot that the child couldn't swim. When the boat capsized, Carruth went under twice and had to be rescued. Andrews herself was battered filming the famous meadow scene, repeatedly slammed to the ground by helicopter downdraft. She smiled through bruises and grass in her teeth. Even hair became a problem. Andrews' dark roots were bleached into a shocking orange. They cut her hair short and dyed it blonde in a panic. Daniel Truhitt, who played Rolf, suffered permanent hair damage from bleaching, and then came the lies. The Von Trapps didn't escape through the mountains. They boarded a train. Maria didn't marry for love but out of duty to the children. She was 22, Georg was 47. Their real story was far less romantic. And that beloved song, Edelweiss, not Austrian. It was written in 1959 by Americans Rodgers and Hammerstein. Even President Reagan believed it was authentic. The children's names and personalities were changed, 3 of the real kids erased entirely. And while the film portrayed Austria as an innocent victim of Nazism, reality was darker. Austria had its own authoritarian regime before the Nazis arrived, something the film glossed over. The studio spent years hiding the chaos. Interviews were scripted, cast and crews sworn to secrecy. Even Maria von Trapp herself was shut out. She sold the rights for just $9,000 and wasn't even invited to the film's premiere. When she asked, they told her there were no seats left. And yet, despite the lies, the injuries, the insults, and the studio panic, The Sound of Music became a phenomenon. Not just a film, but a cultural moment. People who didn't even speak English sang the songs. Children across continents acted out scenes. And while Plummer sneered and Andrews bled for perfection, their efforts built a cinematic miracle. What started with noise, rain, and resentment ended with the dethroning of Gone with the Wind, and a legacy that still echoes through generations. Behind every twirl in the hills was a cast fighting off disaster and somehow still creating joy.